Hi everyone, and welcome to October's Tech Tool of the Month. I'm Katie Carnes, and I am an instructional technologist for the Center for E-Learning and Connected Environments at UCO. Alright, so the October Tech Tool of the Month is H5P, and there are lots of different things that are great about H5P. If you've explored it before, there are lots of different tools and things that you can do. I'm only going to highlight one of the content types today, but there's so much that you can do with this tool. That's why I wanted to talk about it this month, because it's so versatile. So you can create interactive videos, learning objects, presentations, you can do games, board games, flashcards, you can make a timeline, and so much more. And I'll highlight a couple of the other things that you can do as well later in the video. One of the great things about H5P is that it's mobile friendly and it is also free to use, which is awesome. So one of the keys to engagement in an online classroom is interactivity, and that's why this tool is so great, is because it just takes that to the next level. D2L does have some built-in tools for interactions, but it's really just the bare minimum. So this can really help get your course to the next level. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started for the sake of time. So we'll change to this next screen. Alright, so I am going to, this is H5P's login screen. It's h5p.org. That's how you get there. One thing that they're showing right now on their home screen, which I wish that I could have gone over today because it's one of their coolest tools, but it would have been a little bit difficult because it required uploading a video and would have probably gotten a little tedious and clunky. But I would really encourage you to watch this video or this demo that they have on their screen, on their home screen. So what you can do on H5P is that you can upload a video and add interactions like they're doing here. And so you could add a quiz within a video that you have. Or if you've uploaded a video from YouTube and you really want to make sure that your students are staying engaged, maybe it's a 20-minute video, then a great idea to kind of break up a huge chunk of information is to have them pause, think about what you just learned, and reflect and test on it. So, alright, let's go ahead and get started. I'm not going to show you, so the first thing you'd have to do is create an account. I'm not going to do that because it's pretty easy to do. They make it very easy to do, and that would just be tedious. So, I've already created an account, I'm already logged in, so I'm going to go up here to my account. So once I've created my account, then I come to my profile page and I come to create new content. Alright, so the demo that I'm going to give you guys today is find multiple hotspots. And mainly I'm doing that because if any of you have been to my other seminars or watched anything else of mine, then you know that I'm a huge proponent of imagery over text. So naturally this tool is probably one of my favorites. So and the options are really endless. It just depends on how creative you want to get with your hotspots. Alright, but first I do want to go over a couple of the other tools or content types that we have. So I'm going to give mine a title. It's going to be Find the Presidents and select content type. So here is where you can obviously see we have tons to choose from. Lots of different content types. Alright, so I'm just going to go over, for the sake of time, just a few of these, and I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger for you guys to see really quick. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of me so you guys can see these a little bit better on your screen. Alright, so find multiple hotspots, that's what we're doing today, so I'll go over that in more detail. True-false question, that's pretty self-explanatory. You also have that within D2L, so depends on how you want to use that. A picture slider, that would be if you want to do like more of a slideshow effect. Twitter user feed, self-explanatory. You just embed your Twitter user feed. You can make charts. A course presentation is like basically building your own PowerPoint within H5P. And image juxtaposition, that just means if you have two images side by side, you can compare, maybe do like a before and after. I'll click on the details real quick to see you can see a little bit of that content demo. So see, there's a before and after picture of Paris, and this is a aerial map of somewhere, just showing a before and after. And let's see what else we have. You've got audio. You can record your own audio. Drag the words. This is also a cool tool. So if you just want to drag and drop, if you're doing any sort of keywords. Let's see. Find the hotspot. That's if you just have one hotspot that you want them to find, one area you want them to find. Speak the words. This is a cool tool, but with any speak to text tool, you have to be, aware that the accuracy may not be 100%. This would be a really great tool for a language course if you want your students to practice saying a phrase or a word in a different language. Then you might be able to play around with this tool. But like I said, I probably wouldn't put too much weight on this grade just because of the technology may not always pick up accents or different ways of saying things. So just have to be careful with that, but it's a great tool. Let's see what else we have. Mark the words. So if you have a paragraph, you could have students go through and select the words that are correct. So see, this one says click the various types of berries. So that's where you could go through and find which ones are berries. It gives you yes or no, etc., etc. All right. So flashcards, you can make a questionnaire. You can do a timeline. This is a really great tool. This is probably another one of my favorites. You can do a timeline with anything, whether you want to show a historical sequence of events, or you could even do a timeline in the beginning of your course. So you could show a timeline of what to do when, or these are the subjects we're going to cover over the semester, etc., etc. So this tool I think is a really great one, and definitely one worth trying. So every course can do that if you decide to put that within your orientation module. All right, the essay, so you can create an essay with instant feedback. This is kind of like the speak to text. You just want to be careful. This really just kind of highlights keywords. So you could have them type 500 characters or something or more, and then it would kind of look for keywords or key phrases. So that one might be a little bit more, like the speak to text. You just want to be careful about accuracy. But if you're just looking for keywords or just want your students to practice, then that can help you because it can do the grading for you, which is frees up some time for you. So guess the answer, a board game and a memory game, self-explanatory, and arithmetic quiz, that's basic math. And then fill in the blanks. So if you want them to fill in different words, this is also great for a language course as well. All right, so those are just a couple of them. I'm just kind of highlighting a few that I see just for the sake of time. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I would definitely encourage you to go through and play around with these because, like I said, the options are endless and it really can help you, however creative you want to get with this. Yeah, and there's interactive video, which I kind of showed you in the beginning. Which they have an example of on their homepage. All right, so let's get moving along here. I'm going to show you just this one, find the multiple hotspots. All right, so I've selected my content type and then it opens this screen. So title of this question is actually going to be find the presidents. It's going to be of the people below on the U.S. banknotes who was a president. So now I'm going to find my background image, which I have on my desktop. I'm just going to open that up. Hopefully it'll load quickly. I'll give it a second. And there you go. Now it's loaded. Okay, so now I go over to hotspots right here on this section, and this is where I add the hotspots. Now I keep the task description and the hotspot name the same, just because the task description goes on the top of the demo. You'll kind of see that whenever we see the preview. So I like to keep that at the top because it just makes it a little bit easier for the students to follow the instructions. So I keep those the same. You can do whatever you like. All right, so the task for the students is they have to look at these banknotes and they have to identify which one was a president and which one was not. So there are 7 banknotes and 5 of the individuals are president. So there are 5 correct hotspots. All right, so this part I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible just so we can get moving along. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the hotspots, and you can either do a circle or a square. So, all right, so the first one, this guy right here, that is Benjamin Franklin, and he was not a president. So I'm going to add this feedback here. I'm also going to add my face back into the picture for you guys as well. All right, so Benjamin Franklin, he was not. Also right here you see there's a box where you can either select this box or you can leave it blank. So if it's incorrect, you leave it blank. So I'm going to leave it blank because Benjamin Franklin was not a president. All right, so I've got that. Press done. And now this is kind of the tricky part. You have to remember, kind of keep your hot boxes in order. Hot spots. Keep on calling them hot boxes. So I'm going to come up here to the correct banknote, and I'll just make it bigger by dragging those side boxes out. Alright, so the first one's done. Let's get through the rest of them, and you just do the exact same. Alright, so the next guy, that there is Ulysses S. Grant. He was a president, so I'm going to select correct and add that feedback. Alright, we'll quickly move through that. Alright, next we have, you can follow along at home. Who is it? Andrew Jackson. Okay, so that is correct. Andrew Jackson was a president. So I'm going to select that correct box up there. Alright, we have Alexander Hamilton next. He's become quite popular as of late. Okay, so that's incorrect. He was not a president. And I'll add that. And we've got Abraham Lincoln next. He was a president. And just 2 more to go. Alright, this one's a little bit trickier. Not a lot of people know this one, but it is Thomas Jefferson. And he was a president. So, got Thomas Jefferson, and finally, the man himself. Hopefully, most of you can get this one correct. But that is, in fact, George Washington on the $1 bill. And it's correct. He was a president. Alright. Okay, so now I've got my hotspots. And see, that didn't even really take me all that much time. It's it's very quick and very intuitive. So, alright, and then down here it says, this is just some feedback if your user selects an empty spot, or feedback if the user selects an already found hotspot. So, alright, and you can probably just leave the default feedback there. So it says that you didn't locate any hotspots. Try again. So if you have something else you want to say there, go ahead and say it. And then also if the user selects an already found hotspot, the feedback is you already found this one. So if you want to change that, you can, or you can just keep it the default. Alright, so down here is where you can add a tag. This will keep your content. If you really get into H5P and really like using this tool, then you probably want to keep your content organized, and this is one way that you can do that. So say you teach a variety of courses, and the course you're teaching is U.S. history, so you can add U.S. history there. Also, you could add a course code too, so it could be A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So at least you know, this is for this course, this is for this class, etc., etc. There we go. So however you want to organize that, you can. And you can keep these selected, depends on what you want to do. I'm just going to keep them all selected. So you got your display buttons, download button, embed button, and copyright button. All right, I'm going to press save. Okay, so now we are in the demo screen, as you guys can see. And we'll see if I can get it all on the screen there. Okay, so up at the top. Alright, so this is kind of what it looks like down here at the, let's see what the demo looks like. So if I select Benjamin Franklin, who is not a president, it gives me that little X there. If I select Ulysses S. Grant, who was a president, then a green check comes up right there. And now I'll kind of scroll down here at the bottom since you can't quite see it fully on the screen. As I'm selecting correct ones, it shows a little slider down here at the bottom as you get closer and closer to the edge or to the star. So that kind of shows the students, so it's a progress bar, so it shows them their progress. Alright, so select him, Alexander Hamilton, that's incorrect. Just click all these, you can kind of watch that progress bar down at the bottom. And there we go, I got them all correct. So that's kind of the demo of what it would look like. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to embed this into D2L. Alright, so I will go down to the very bottom. I don't know if you guys, it's real small, I don't know if you can see that where it says embed. You're going to click on embed, and you are going to copy this code right here, this iframe code. If you want to mess with the size, you can usually just leave that blank, but if there's some issues, then you can go in there and adjust the size if you need to. And you probably don't, we don't need to really get into the advanced settings for this. You can just copy that code and you're good to go. Alright, so I'm going to move over to my module in D2L. Alright, so I've got my module all set up, and I'm going to go to New, Create a File. Let's see, it's taking a second to load. Alright, so title, find the presidents. Oops, spelled mine wrong. And then I'm going to go down to this HTML source editor right down here. And where there's a space between body, between the two, the body and then the backslash body, then you paste that code, press save, and voila, it's in your course. Now I'm going to press publish so we can see how it integrates. Alright, there you go, and it's exactly like the demo. So I can show you whenever I click on it, it's doing exactly what we wanted to do. And there we go. So now it's seamlessly in my D2L course, and it also looks really well, and it's mobile friendly for your students who are using the Pulse app. So that's kind of a quick idea into just one of the many content areas that we have. One thing that's also really, or the content types that are on H5P. One thing that's also really cool is that if I edit within H5P, because it's embedded, it will change it on my course. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. So also know that as well, that if you're playing around, or if you go through and delete something, or anything like that, if you edit or change, if you're just, then it will change it wherever you have embedded it. So good thing and a bad thing. So at least if you change it within H5P, that you don't have to then re-upload it into D2L. So that is a plus. So, all right. So that's kind of the gist of it. That's today, or this month's demo. Hope you guys stay tuned for next month. We'll be talking about the Pulse app. And also, if you have any questions, I'll put my contact information on the screen now. Here we go. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, or if you want any other help incorporating H5P into your course, then you can contact Cece, or you can contact me directly. Once again, that's Katie Carnes at kcarnes2@uco.edu, and my extension is 3182. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.